And we live. Welcome to Nasty After Dark. Well, my name is Nasty Leroy, aka that man. To to my left over here, but it might be to your right, is Rocket Ismail, known as the NFL legend. We're not gonna talk about the last team he played for, but we're gonna talk about he played for the Raiders, the Cowboys, play, college legend, all that kinds of stuff. You know his resume. But we're not here to talk about the football. We're talking about here him having me, as his family member. People don't know. I told this to my friend Joey Janela, who is a famous wrestler in himself, that I was related to him. And he was like, oh, you gotta do it. And we never got to do it on Instagram. So we're doing it here on live on YouTube, on StreamYard. To talk to Rocket, but we're not just talking about it. We're not just talking about football and his legendary career. No, we're here to talk about how he has come back to the world of pro wrestling as his nephew is in wrestling. But we also going to talk about how he grew up as a wrestling fan,
Yes.
We're going to talk about all that kind of stuff and just stuff in general. So sit back, relax, and get ready to talk with that man and the Rocket Man.
Woo-hoo. Let's go.
So what's going on, Rocket? What's going on with you over there in Dallas?
Well, we in these quarantine streets, trying to stay healthy, trying to keep the immune system right and righteous, so we don't have to mess with this coronavirus and end up laid out in the hospital somewhere. So shucks, as you can see, I haven't had a haircut since March of last year, and I just let my beard grow. And shucks, just doing the husband and father thing, and really anything that usually there's a lot of appearances and stuff during the football season, but all that was scrapped. And so everything that I'm doing, it has been just like we're doing right now, whether it's Zoom, whether some people interview on Instagram, some people do it on YouTube. In this format, StreamYard, I just did an interview last week on this same platform and Facebook. So shucks, I'm just on my virtual right now.
Okay. Now, I was just saying what I was doing today, and we've been doing recently. Training, wrestling, doing my thing. But normally I would be in the chat of AEW's post show. That's when I normally just talk with the people there, because in that world. But I just had to let everybody know that I gotta get Rocket on here as soon as possible. I was like, maybe I'll just do it after AEW. But AEW Dynamite, the new promotion started last year. I got to make my appearance last year, my debut and stuff. That was cool and stuff. And Rocket was one of the first ones to hit me up and say congratulations. He was so happy. The smile on his face right now.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, you did it out here. You was out here on the TV,
That's right. And the reason it was so amazing to me is because I remember when you were a young boy and you used to speak that this was what you're going to be. You're going to be a pro wrestler. You're going to be handling your business. And then all these years later, to see it come to pass, man, there are multiplied millions of people on this earth who have a desire or a dream to become something or to manifest something in their lives and never see it come to pass. So to be talking and live in color to a young man, my nephew, who actually has seen his dreams as a child come to pass as a grown man, it blesses my heart. That's why I smile a lot when I talk to you.
Yes, yeah. He was so happy for me and stuff. But the show is not about me. This is about you. You're the guest. Okay. So we talk about my accomplishments a lot, but that's what I normally be doing. But Rocket is taking an interest not only because I'm in the wrestling world. He just is like, oh, there's so much stuff out here. You're friends with so many people, and like you're out here in so many states, even in the quarantine, and like he's like very interested. And I be telling him about my friend, like my friend Effie, my friend Joey, and Donnie, and all these people who I meet and stuff. This in the world of wrestling, and he's like so happy for me. But
Yes.
you know, let's get to some current stuff, and then we'll get to some back in the day stuff.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so currently, I've been helping Rocket on what I've been doing. I've just been sending him all my clips, all my stuff, everything I'm doing, which is currently I'm going to be going to be doing. I've seem to be traveling a lot of uh in these areas, and been to Philly, been to Alaska, been to Alabama multiple times for this promotion. New South Wrestling. It's really cool promotions. Like it's like going back in time, and like the bad guys are the bad guys, the good guys are the good guys in Alabama. So they cheer for the people who cheat. They cheer for the people who they don't cheer for the people who cheat like they do now, but they boo the people who cheat like it was when Rocket was watch wrestling. So I link him to a lot of this stuff, and he's just so amazed so much the athletes, and he's like, "Man, you competing with this against this guy, or you competing against this guy and stuff." So taking a look as you coming back into the world of wrestling since you was a kid and watching all the guys like Glacier and Dusty Rhodes, how much do you like the current landscape of changing and all this other stuff and like in wrestling and stuff? So.
Well, I have to be honest. Outside of you, I am still old school. I'm a authentically old school. Back when it was the WWF,
Mhm.
World Wrestling Federation, and back in the day when my brothers and all our friends, we would watch the wrestling matches and the night before, and then the next day we would come outside and start practicing all the moves on each other. And I tell you, there was several wrestlers that caught my imagination as a child and just took it to a level where I really thought some part of me felt like they were superheroes. And that the first wrestler that I saw that made that feeling come in my heart was Jimmy Superfly Snuka. And
Mhm.
man, when I saw his first match, like wrestling was amazing to me. But when Superfly came out, I remember him being in the ring, and it was like he got to the top turnbuckle, turned around, and when he jumped off of the top rope, like he got higher, and then like this came down, spread eagle, boom. I forget who
Mhm.
he was wrestling, but it was just like I was like, oh man, people can fly. It was like watching Michael Jordan dunk from the foul line. And when he
Yeah.
was jumping, the way his body would start off high, and then as he was ascending, his arm and everything would go up. So it gave the illusion that he was jumping, but he wasn't coming down. It was just like he just kept ascending, boom, until he finished the dunk. It looked like that to me. And man, I and the entire neighborhood for the next 2 months, 3 months, went down to the park. We would get on top of they used to call them monkey bars at the back in the day, get on, and it was sand all in the bottom. And we just jump off of that and land in the ground and pretend we were him. And then after Jimmy Superfly, I would say George the Animal Steel used to fascinate me because I forget, I think his tongue was green and he had a bald head and he had like a psychopathic type of character, and
Mhm.
he was just always, it was like dealing with somebody who had some kind of mental condition but was amazing wrestler. I used to love watching him. I used to love watching the Junkyard Dog.
Mhm.
uh I used to love watching Tony Atlas. He was the first wrestler where he was just so strong and diesel. And I remember he would press guys over his head. And at the time, the reigning champion was a guy by the name of Bob Backlund. And Bob Backlund, I don't know if it was because at the time we lived in New Jersey. I don't know if it was because of what we and the region that we were in, but you would always hear of the champ being Bob Backlund, and his go-to move was the chicken wing. But I never got a chance to see him. I saw him once, but that was it. It was like this mythical figure, Bob Backlund, and he was just like a country boy wrestler, just fundamental moves, nothing flashy, nothing over the top, but he was the man. I used to love watching Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I met him at an appearance one year we did in Niagara Falls, New York, and he was one of the guys with myself and a couple of other notable former athletes. And then I remember when Hulk Hogan like got big and came on the scene. I remember when he slammed Andre the Giant. Oh man, it was so, like. And then I remember meeting Hulk Hogan. We were doing something with the Cowboys at the new stadium here in Dallas. And I feel you. But it was like all of those experiences are with me to this day, you know. And so for me to see you in that world, it's like, oh man, this has come full circle. Like what I wanted to do, like, well, I say this, outside of wanting to be a football player, because when I was 5 years old, when I first saw my first football game, that just captivated me, and it captured my imagination. And in me, I was like, man, I'm going to be a football player. Like when it all said and done, I'm playing football. And then it just, everything started moving in that direction. But when I saw wrestling, it was like, okay, maybe I could do wrestling on the side, but it never came to reality. But now I got somebody in my family who's doing his thing. So it's like, it all came together, man. So, you know, I remember I did an event, and at the event was Ric Flair was at the event also. So we were like chopping it up, talking stories about back in the day, you know what I'm saying? So man, it's been a beautiful thing. Now I'm in live and in person with Nasty Leroy, getting interviewed by him. So I'm loving it all, brother.
You know, and those are the moments that you hold on to, and then like, it's like, so introducing you to the world that I'm in is not even has changed, but it's also stayed the same. I think it's changed for the better. Stuff has evolved, but stuff has stayed the same and stuff. Because then you got the towns that like the good guys and hate the bad, like in Alabama and parts of North Georgia and stuff like that. And people in the world, people are, I don't like to say it's smart, but people are more knowledgeable with the internet and social media and stuff changing. But like when I go to a town like Cornelia, Georgia, or I never been to Canton, but I know a lot of them. A lot of my training partners went to Canton, and they just tell me it's like back in time in the '80s, like Flair and all them, and like the bad guys or bad guys. Like I remember one time we started. I was pressed to do that because I was a bad guy. Something like, I bet you can't, you know, I wanted you to get it, because I was like, yeah, I would miss the right days of being a bad guy. And somebody was like, I bet you can't do that. And I did it. And it was like a little riot, but it wasn't a big riot. So, but it was like gum, food, and all that kinds of stuff. Me talking my trash, you know how I do.
Right.
So all I had to do, like, it's I think I tell people now, like, even upcoming guys that are at the training facility that are even bad guys or good guys or just in promos in general, like, what you gotta do is that you gotta research the city. So I, being here in Georgia a lot, I know the city of like they're connected to their sports. So what's better to get them mad than talk about their sports teams? Like, and it's not like you're dogging on the teams. You're telling the truth in your eyes. You're not speaking
Right.
unfactuals. It's like, whenever I went whenever I went to Dallas, I go tell them what it is, and they don't like the truth. It's the same thing with the Atlanta fans and the Dallas fans. Like, you're not like the one. So somebody told me you're not a villain. You just, this is your side of the story. You're telling. You don't
I
feel
like that.
like you're wrong. Somebody
Right, right.
told me that you don't feel like you're wrong in this situation. But like, I like how you're a rest of unlike the rest of the family. We can connect because you're a wrestling fan, and because ever since I've been doing it, you've been coming in, and whoever I'm wrestling or interacting to, you be like, oh, who is this, and oh, who is this, and I'll tell you about them, and I'll link you to them and stuff like. So like, yeah, I think it's cool how you continue to not only just follow me but follow my friends, because now I hang out with my friend Joey most of the time, and he is on TV from time to time, and like he does his thing on his he helps us promotion out called Game Changer Wrestling. It was
Mm,
like it's like called like ECW had a kid, but it's really like the modern day ECW for today's people, because it's underground, but it's not really underground because we got so many streamings and stuff like online that you can go online. They mainly do their pay-per-view stuff on Fight TV, and that's
mm,
where their television content came from. I got to wrestle on Fight TV, and that was real cool. Uh,
mm.
and made my debut at their backyard wrestling event. Um, and then Joey's event, which is the biggest event on their calendar. So that was real cool in the quarantine. So I actually sent you that, and he was like,
Yep.
yo, look at all the people, and everybody was like, oh, you getting introduced to all the new bad guys, all the good guys that I be out and stuff, and like, you know, I remember when you saw me in the ring, and you saw it was me, it was Mance Warner, it was Matthew Justice, it was Effie, and it was AJ, which is called Second Gear. And he's like, "Oh, they coming here to save my nephew," and then they coming in there the save and stuff, and then we did the dance and stuff. I did the dance and swing and everything, and yeah. So yeah, other than getting jumped multiple times, yeah. So
My,
yeah,
I have a question like so a lot of times people ask me, or what was the moment where you knew you were going to play football and that was something that you were going to pursue? Can you remember the moment when you saw or were first introduced to wrestling and something in you knew that that was what you were going to pursue?
I tell people a lot on interviews that I'd be like, "Well, it's ECW was the when I was first introduced to wrestling." But
Hmm.
then, like when they shut down, I left wrestling because I thought that was only wrestling before. So I never watched much of WWF. I
Okay.
watched here and there bits and pieces when I was over people's friends' house, like, and like Jonathan, what he would my cousin Jonathan, my friend Jonathan, he would like he would be a Stone Cold fan, and well, I didn't like his catchphrase, the what catchphrase. I didn't like that. I always thought that was annoying, so I didn't like Stone Cold for a while, and then I liked The Rock. He was kind of on and off for me. He was kind of like but
Okay.
then like years later, after not being in wrestling, and I even told you I was going into comedy and stuff, and I was doing interviews and stuff, and how I was interviewing you and you come over and stuff like that. And that was what I was
Right.
focused on. So I was like, so that's what I was focused on. And then like, uh, I didn't even like. I was like, all right, maybe I'm just gonna be like an interviewer or whatever or like a manager or whatever. But the moment where it popped off was I went to a a promotion called Ring of Honor in New York City that my friend Dontre told me about, and he
Mm-hmm.
said it was like a fight club atmosphere. You're gonna definitely like it. You know, it's not like anything else. It was a guy. His name was Homicide. He came out to Benny Siegel Speak the Truth, and
Mm.
like he just beat up. He beat up. Or I guess at the time there was another company invading, but I didn't know. But he would be beating up on everybody. But he would be smaller, but he'd be a more of a vicious guy though, and he could fly around. He could brawl. He could do all this stuff. And I was like, oh, I gotta make it to Ring of Honor. But it didn't take me until years later, probably like 2013, until I was like, you know what, I can probably actually do this. Watching a promotion called Beyond Wrestling and Game Changer Wrestling was like, hey, because I just stopped because I went to the trials for Ring of Honor and um, it was never they liked me and stuff, and I never was pursued it even more, or I just started stop. I wasn't in love with Ring of Honor as much as I was before. So I went to I was watching Beyond Wrestling on YouTube and Game Changer, and I was like, oh, this be cool if I debut for this promotion. But
Mm.
then, that was the thing, and then I've been, people was like, oh, I don't know if this is for you, this kind of stuff. I don't know if we should get you as a wrestler. But then, like, I wanted to be a wrestler so bad, and then later on I met my coach QT. Uh, he took a liking to me. He brought me into his training facility, and
Wait. Where
yeah,
did you meet him?
I met him in Orlando. Oh, I'm going to say this. I met him in Orlando at WrestleMania weekend. Let me get
Oh, now
contact.
was it at it? Were you at just the main event, or was there a specific networking event? Like, how did you know he was somebody who was a wrestling coach? How did he know you liked wrestling? Like, how did that happen?
Oh yeah, let me get into that. So I was in Orlando because I knew like a lot of people did seminars and stuff like that. Like I knew like a lot of people teach a lot of wrestlers that are 3-4 years in, or teach seminars. So I knew that, and I was following him on Instagram, so I knew.
Oh, okay. Or you knew about him already.
Yeah, I knew that the Monster Factory, those guys was having a seminar, but then they was separated the seminar. First they had a together seminar, and then they had a separated seminar.
Okay.
And so it was at the Team Vision Dojo. It was not too far from the WrestleCon they was having at the hotel. So I was like, oh, do I go meet the wrestlers, or I go learn and get stuff? So I chose to go to both seminars different days. One was Nick Dinsmore, and the other one was QT. And I was like, I looked at it and I was like, So Mike, he can, he's obviously got some knowledge if he's going on putting on a seminar. So
Right.
yeah, I went in there and I just I told him my name and everything. And this what he said. He said, Nancy Leroy. How'd you get that name? I was like, well, it's a whole other story. It's just it's the whole story behind that. He's like, oh,
Right.
okay,
Right.
That's like, you the bad kind of nasty or the good kind of nasty? I'm the good kind of nasty. I'm not the bad kind of nasty. You're not disgusting, right? Like, no, I'm not. So So yeah, we did some drills and stuff like that, and then we did a drill that involves chopping. And he's like, oh, so he was like, hey, do you know how to chop? And I was like, yeah, I know how to chop. I trained this guy named Johnny Stringer, so I knew how to chop it, and strike and stuff. So like, it was a striking drill. So when I did it, and this is how I didn't know the power of my hands. So as I used to put Theron in the sharpshooter all the time, and I used to chop him, and he was like, "Oh, my chest hurt. You chop too hard." And I'm like, "I ain't chop hard. My hand's not that hard." He's like, "Yeah, it is." And so, uh, I chill chop one of the guys. He says, oh, you really like to chop, huh? I was like, yeah, I do. He was like, I see you throw some form, but you just like to chop people. I was like, yeah, it's fun to do. Um, I said, yeah, I'm not taking chops from you anytime soon. What's funny part is, uh, months later he takes chops from me, but that's how I found him. And then he moved to
Okay.
Atlanta. Well, he didn't move to Atlanta per se. He moved to like outside of Atlanta. He moved to like a town called Beaufort, and
Okay.
like they had an open what you call it, an open house where a lot of people can come in and stuff.
Okay.
And then they had a super camp. And then I was, he uh he gave me like a discount to come in
Okay.
because I have all the money and stuff, but I had some of the money though.
That's what's
So
up.
so I got in there. I showed what the skills that I had from past trainers and coaches, and he's like so they had a guy from Ring of Honor, and they had a guy who's now currently in WWE. His name is Damian Priest, but back then he was the Punisher Martinez. Um, and he was like, yeah, there all the coaches were like, yeah, you know, you got some skills, but he's like you got, and this is I've never been told this before. He's like, yeah, he was like, I don't know what it is, but maybe I'm just going out of line, but maybe just maybe I know you. I see charisma in you, and it's like,
Okay.
and then one of the guys was like, yeah, and then one of the guys was like, yeah, you got the ick factor and stuff, and I was like, I didn't know how to
Yes.
take that because I had never been told I had the ick factor and stuff, so it's
Right.
just, yeah, so yeah,
And so
I didn't know how to.
that is that when you started to say, I'm going to make the commitment to actually get into the wrestling flow and be able to do this on the highest level.
Yeah, I think at I was supposed to train with QT for a little bit of weeks and stuff, and then I was going to another school, but he was like, "Hey, you should stay here and stuff," and then I ended up staying. But then he was like, "Hey, I want you to how about you being the manager?" Because I guess he didn't feel that I was ready for it. But
Mm.
I think that like if I had wrestled then, I wouldn't hone the skills that I do now, how to command the crowd and stuff.
Right,
'Cause I
right.
think that taught me how to get a crowd emotionally invested. Get
Mm.
them to hate me when I'm a bad guy, get them to love me when I'm a good guy and stuff.
Okay.
So uh, for I was I was talking to my friend Marquise. He's known as the Belt God on here. But I was talking to him as an team member that we got a group, and I was telling him, hey, we got a group. I was like, I want to bring this to the promotion that we was having, One for All Wrestling. It was like it's like a boxing camp kind of thing. I want them to come out with me and stuff from time to time. Like when I win a championship, I want them to hold it up, because a lot of MMA people use wrestling promos. So why don't I use boxing MMA stuff? Like come out with the
Smart.
boxing gear and stuff, and like he's like, oh okay, and stuff. But he's like he just still didn't believe that I was ready for my wrestling match. So
Okay.
I think the one that made him really believe that I was ready for the ring was we was in I think it was what was it I don't think it was Macon, but it was Augustus, Georgia, at a wrestling. Who was at a wrestling event, but it was like a superstars of wrestling. It was a lot of the legends of the ring, a lot of
Right.
the guys that had a lot of years in there, and then you had some of the current guys there. And then when I got to come out, when QT pulled some strings for me to come out, and I came out and I performed, in front of the large people. I think it was about like 500 people, the
Okay.
most I've been into at the time. Um, and just been me as I wasn't a bad guy. I was a good guy, talking. But I cut a promo on one of the guys and stuff, and and I think QT he seen my how not only see my career how I had the crowd in my hands. So I had
Mm.
said something that how Rock would get him to chair and be like, oh yeah, it just be like they'd be like Rocky, and then they would all of a sudden they'd be like nasty, 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 and
Yes.
then he had just like, oh man, this guy's got away with the crowd. And
Okay.
so I think that was a moment that, and then when we debuted in our facility in Norcross, that was a moment where he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna." We I was a manager, and I was for one of the matches for my friend Preston, who was wrestling at the time, and then I
Okay.
think he saw something in there that Norcross, and then when we was in Tennessee, I was still a bad guy, and but the crowd was just they just couldn't stop cheering me, and so I think he was like, we gotta get him in the ring then, so we gotta and plus I was training hard, I was grinding, I was in the gym, I was doing my thing, so he was like. He seen the effort that I was putting to like how bad I wanted to be in the ring.
So how long was it from the seminar until now you're in the actual ring? You're one of the main guys. How long did that take?
That took like at least 6 months. Yeah,
Oh,
6 months. I joined the school like in 2017. But I
okay.
didn't get in the ring. Well, I was already managing people like for like when we started running events
Okay.
or like
So how
in
long
like in,
before you started managing people?
I managed people. My manager debut was in the fall. I think it was it November? No, September. September. It was like 3 months. 3 months,
Okay.
and
And
then
then
yeah.
from 3 months, another 3 months before. So you're getting the fundamentals down, you're learning the ropes, you're understanding how to use your gifts. And then 3 months later, it's like, okay, it's ready for the nasty man to make his appearance in the ring. Was it on that level as a wrestler?
Yeah, he was like it was around after it was like in August. I'll say in August. He was like after August, like it was August. I don't want to say September, but it was August because it was like right after we had the tribute camp where it was paid to the American Dream Dusty Rhodes and
Mm.
the scholarship people. It was a scholarship. Whoever won got to go to Ring of Honor at the time. So I think at that show, and I think after that show, he was like, "All right." After that show, I was on a mission to show him that I wanted to be in the ring like bad. Like so, every time he would like go out there and cut a promo. I cut the promo, and
Mm.
so even more and more. And I think the one show that we did was like he gave me 3 segments. He gave me 3 segments of like so wrestling. So a lot of the wrestlers get like segments you can do and stuff. So he had put my name down on three segments. He's like nasty, 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 and he was like, I want to see what you do with this. So those 3 segments was 3 matches, and I went in there, managed, and I talked. Then, then we had a thing where he he was like, "Hey, we had a tournament. Um, I'm gonna give you my spot." And the what? Oh, that's like later. No, that's later. Um, yeah, I think after the people were chatting my name in the match, or my friend Preston, it was Preston and it was QT. He decided that you know what? They've been chanting his name everywhere we go, from Tennessee to up to Georgia, and he was like, "Well, he's been training hard." I had always videoed my match because I still do it to this day. Like, so Macho Man and DDP always looked video their stuff. They
Uh-huh.
always video their stuff, and it always stuck with me because they always see what they did wrong or what they need to improve on and
Okay.
stuff. So that's what I would do. And you see me watching my stuff, so I'd be in the back just watching my stuff. It's like, what do I need to go? What do I need to improve on? What do I need to do? You know, do I need to make this clothesline better, this submission better? In training, and this was only in training. I think he saw that, and then the crowd, like, fall in love with me, just chanting my name and stuff. And he was like, we want nasty, you know. And then so yeah,
Man.
I
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. You about to say something?
No, I was just saying that I think like he was saying that, you know, this is, you know, I gotta give it to him because I was, you know, hungry, so hungry to get in the ring.
So that's 6 months out. You then are on the, now you know, okay, you got the skills and they're honed. How do you decide if you're going to have a good guy's persona or a bad guy's persona for a particular event or a particular time frame?
Well, it normally came to me, it was morely organic because I like being a bad guy.
Okay.
Like, because I think it was just more easier because, you know, at Hooters, out, you know, when I would go to Hooters, you hear my mom talk about me going to Hooters. At Hooters, football season, I'll be talking to the Falcon fans. I'll be talking to the Cowboys fans. I've
Okay.
gotten into lots of arguments and lots of almost, you know, uh, fist fights because I be telling the truth and they didn't like it and that and stuff. So, you know, and one time we all came in there, we all different teams. It was like the Four Horsemen came in there and they was just booing us out the building. Like, I my friend he had one of them bullhorns. Stop hating us because we're great and because you can't be allowed of the Sunday committee and like, yeah, punk. What you know about being great? Okay, this is 27 flyness every day, 65. Looking clean, well, hey, it's looking mean, and people would just they hated, but they would eat it up. They hated us, but they eat it up and stuff. And people was like, "Oh yeah, I see why you want to be a pro wrestler because you know." One of the girls was like, "Yeah, because you just love the people booing you." I was like, and I did like it. I still like, you know. I fed off that, so I was uncomfortable being a villain. So I was you know I was uncomfortable being a villain, but I think my coach was like he just saw a natural organic thing for them just cheering me like, and not only just me grinding and me doing my thing, he just
Mhm.
decided to give me the match. It was like he told me, and with my friend in the back was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be wrestling this. You're gonna be," and then at our wrestling event, and I did like I had managed on the first card. I managed on the first card, first ever match we had in No Cross for TV tapings. And never went to TV, but I was in the first match, and the second match, and the third match, and I like in the promotion I had built myself up like manager wise, like so like you know and then like I was in the main events as a manager. So as being in the main event as a manager, it just so happens that QT was like slowly like, yeah, he would always tell people, "Oh yeah, we were the best training facility in the country," and then it became the world, and then now like we are the like when it comes the like the Nightmare Factory is the facility on the East Coast. Other one is Wrestle Pro. So a lot of people like we got a lot of people now rocket, but like he would never tell them like, hey, you don't come here just because you're gonna get a handout or you're gonna get one. You put your name in just because you train here. So he's like you gotta earn that. So I think that I have earned it, and like at the time like he knew I wasn't gonna stop. So
Mm. Do you
yeah,
have, you know, so you said earlier when you guys had your catchphrases that you would say to the fans when they were hating, is that something you all sit around and you come up with the catchphrase, or you come up with the script, like specifically what you're going to say? Or is it just a, okay, maybe let's try to say this, let's try to say that? Or is it just at the spur of the moment, you'll just say something slick, and if people react to it, you keep it?
Well, or in AEW and in 1FW, um or I already had catchphrases being at Hooters and stuff, so I used my
Okay.
catchphrases outside of the wrestling ring. So Nancy Leroy is the same person he is inside the ring as outside the ring, and that's
Okay.
what made, I think, what made me me, because I'm a real life character, but only turned it up. So
Okay.
I used the looking clean, what the hell's looking mean? It's Nancy time, all this, because me and my friends was like, well, I didn't like the name at first. I hated the name, and like, I hated the name because it
What?
made me sound like the creepy Lionel Richie song, like I'm in the buses and stuff. But
Oh.
I couldn't think of another wrestling name though. Like
Huh.
it was like, but it was like, he's like, it catch. He was like, but we've been so they campaigned and they would call me Nancy Leroy everywhere. So everywhere I went, they'd be like, hey, what's up, Nancy Leroy? Oh, what's up, Nancy Leroy? So the brilliantness of my friend was like, he's got a marketing degree, so he knows how
Okay.
to market stuff. So he'd be like, I'm gonna make you see this name is the good thing. So
Okay.
everywhere we
Okay.
would go, he was like, this Nancy Leroy this and Nancy Leroy that, even if I didn't answer it. So he's like, just go up there and talk to that girl and just introduce yourself as Nancy Leroy. And she was just so curious why my name was Nancy Leroy. It was so
Okay.
interesting stuff. So I was
I
like,
love
I'm
it.
gonna keep it. Yeah, I'm
Man,
gonna
I'm
keep it.
telling you, when I first heard that name, I was like, "Oh, that is brilliant!" Like, and I think the creepy factor, because it's in the world of professional wrestling, it almost like blocks the creepy factor out, and you don't
Mhm.
have your charisma and the spirit that you embody. It doesn't have creepiness as a part of it. So yeah, you don't even, that's not even a factor, man. I love the name. That thing
Yeah,
is on point.
this is like in 2013, and like, so yeah, when I started introducing myself as to girls and stuff, it was more of why you have this name was more interest,
Right.
and like, they was curious to know that. So I used that before wrestling. So when I
Oh
came up, when I
wow.
had my when I had my catchphrases, it was automatic. So when we came with
Okay.
promo, so how promos work, we did a lot of acting coaches, because my coach, you might know him, Glacier, Glacier Ray Lloyd. He was in WCW and stuff like that. So, but he
Oh.
did a lot of acting stuff. So so he would have us, like, some people like read the script and whatever, and like he was like, hey, you don't have to read the script if you want to. You can just pick out bullet points that you want to call to and you want to say, and
Okay.
then you could say. So he was like, yeah, you say February the 21st, and then you add those in there. 1-on-1. I'm going 1-on-1 with this guy and stuff. So it'd be like
Mm.
more off the script, because that's how I think. So that's how I would go on. I'm like, can I go off the script, because it didn't feel right when I was on there. So
Yeah, it's more
I would,
natural.
yeah. So I just be
Okay.
like, I'm talking to you,
Right.
and you, like, let's say if me and you are just chilling, and I'm just talking to you, and I'm like, yeah, me and my guy Rocky here on February the 26th. I'm gonna be on Dynamite. I'm gonna be on AEW Dynamite. I'm taking on that rat bastard MJF, and I'm gonna beat him, and I'm not only am I gonna beat him down, I'm gonna exterminate him. So
Hey,
that's what.
so all right, so it's like you flow and you have your bullet points. I like that. And then you're more conversational. Do you have, man, we need to, I have some chance that you could, like, we used to use them in football back in the day. But I think you could add to your cachet of your sayings, and then once they allow people and crowds and stuff to start getting like they were back in the day, after this virus stuff starts to calm down or they're getting under control, man, I really feel like that'll be some good crowd participation chance that, man, could just take the whole promotion by storm, man. So I definitely want to. I don't want to share with you in the live right now because I don't want anybody
No. Offline, you
to
just
steal
tell it
your
to
stuff.
me.
But I got some stuff that's come to mind that can be, I think, really, really exciting, really powerful, really profound, and people are going to enjoy it.
I would like that, I like that. And
Okay.
I think you know what? I think after all this is over, I think not only just all is over, I think a lot of times that if I just like told them, and I think they would be down to it. I think like if you just came like down to the school, the Nightmare Factory, I think they would get a kick out of it anyway, because um
Yo.
my I told my coach about you and stuff, and like they was like, you know what? He's like, certain. Not only you coming back as it's coming back full circle as you as a wrestling fan and seeing me wrestle, like
Yes. Yes.
you see the legends coming in here like Glacier in here, and he's my coach, and that's where
Mm,
that's funny to say, because not funny, but it's cool to say because it's come full circle, because I know you watched him on WCW and stuff,
mm.
so. I told him he was a fan of you and stuff, and like he respects that, and he said he respects your work, and
That's
so
what's up,
yeah.
man. Tell him I said salute to him, man, and I'm thank you for the kind words. I look forward to meeting him one day. Do do you have so whenever a promotion is getting ready to put an event on,
Hmm.
and you have a roster of guys that, okay, these are the good guys and these are the bad guys, and this is how we're going to pair it up for this particular event. How do you and the opponent, how do you orchestrate what you're going to do, or do you just freestyle and you know the fundamentals so well that it'll work once you get in the ring? Is that what happens, or do you put it together and tell it and practice what you're going to do?
Oh, we do all three of those actually at the Nightmare Factory.
Oh.
We call the stuff together to all our opponents and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But me personally, I'm more of a freestyle kind of person, because then I get lost in the moment, because people chant my name. I'll be
Okay.
like, I'll be like, oh, what's to do next? And I'll just do random stuff. So what I like to do is I like to just wrestle in the ring, and like we'll secretly be calling stuff, or we
Okay.
call it in the ring. So, I just like to do that. But I can do both. I can call it in the back, but also call in the ring. And then like some guys before shows, they like to practice their moves, and oh, I'm gonna do this to you, and oh, I'm gonna do that to you. Some guys like to do it. It all depends on the individual. But me, I like to
Okay.
freestyle because it feels more organic and more realistic when I'm going out there and beating them down and chopping them down. So
Okay. What's your so for me, the say let's say if we had the game on Sunday, then I had Thursday, Friday, Saturday routine
mm-hmm.
leading up to Sunday. How far out do you, or do you even have a routine? Like I had to make sure on Thursday I got the right amount of rest, because Thursday and Friday were the sleep days, the making sure I'm hydrating myself properly, making sure I have to go to the chiropractor or do some physical therapy if I have an injury or something going into the game. And then depending on if it's an early game or if it's a mid-afternoon game or if it's a late game, then I will adjust my study and just my pregame
Mm-hmm.
preparation before that. Like, do you have any type of set, and even in the locker room, when I was younger, I used to listen to like hardcore just hip hop, trying to get my fighting spirit up, like to get hype. And then
Mm-hmm.
as I got older, I would be like the peaceful warrior mentality, where getting ready in the locker room for the game, I would have like, man, somebody maybe talking about a topic or something that would make me calm and peaceful, because I realized that when I was younger, I would be wasting a lot of energy, like getting hyped before the game. And when I got out on the field, I was young enough, I had a bunch of energy, it was cool. But as I got older, I was like, I need to conserve this energy. And then I would start visualizing myself in plays and things of that nature, like before the game. So did you have, or do you have a routine that you put forth when you're getting ready for a match?
First match preparation. This is my match preparation. So, um, say if I'm going up, if I know I'm booked this week. So during this COVID season, this is our preparation. I'll go
Okay.
like, all right, so I have a match on Saturday. So then what I'll do is I'll go get my test on Monday. And
Yeah.
as I go on my test on Monday, then after that, I will go to the training facility. I'll go to the Nightmare Factory, and I will adjust to my opponent because I've already studied my opponent. Like I've already
Like
been
film
studying
study?
him. Yeah, I'm already doing lots of film study. That's a lot of my preparation of
Okay,
lots
okay.
of
And
films,
and does that,
films.
does the film study, is that where you put your game plan together and kind of get a general sense of, all right, this will work, this will work.
Mhm.
That is that what you do with the film study?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I mainly do. I mainly do that, and I mainly will be like, oh, what's his weaknesses and what does he do not
Okay.
do and stuff.
Right.
And then and then I'll go in training and I'll focus on like, okay, oh, he's a cardio machine, and then my cardio's it's okay, but it's not the best where he's at. So what I do
Mm.
is you try to trap him in, you try to trap him into I'll I normally will trap him in. Oh, okay. Since he doesn't like to brawl, you focus on more your brawling style. Since
Okay.
he's a flyer, you ground him. You use submission holds and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Okay. Okay.
So that's how my game plan is. If they're taller, if they always because there's a certain height, you chop them down, you get
Okay.
on their legs, it's stuff like that. So that's why,
Yo.
I think, because a lot of the people outside, they don't think that we're not athletes. So we just look at it like we're athletes, and I look
Oh,
at it like I'm an athlete and stuff.
wait.
And
Hold up. I mean, I don't know. For me, shucks, I used to think wrestlers were like superheroes. So a superhero is just like the highest level of athletes, even though they, it's in a realm of make believe. But man, wrestlers, shucks, that's like the epitome of being an athlete. Man, are you crazy? What?
yeah. So I just look at it as I just look at it like we're athletes,
Yes.
we're in it, it's a whole different, it's a sport, but it's also in our own world,
Right, right, right.
it's yeah. So it's like
So
any other.
after you do you got your test in the beginning of the week, you got Saturday coming up, you're doing your film study, so you're understanding what you're there like how you're going to attack the opponent. Then you have to go to the the training facility, and then you just start practicing your game plan Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Do you go hard on in the beginning of the week and then you just taper off towards the end of the week?
I usually like, so because I'm going Mondays more often. I'll fill out the process of, like, I'll go slow for like the 2 days. Like Mondays and Tuesdays is my fill out process of what I want to do.
Okay.
So if I know a guy's a high flyer, I'll work on my guy plan. If he doesn't like the brawl, I'll work on my brawling techniques. I'll work on my striking, new strikes, different strikes,
Mm.
how to come in. Like, I'm starting to use a rolling elbow strike that I use now. That's now more of a knockout. So
Oh,
I'll just use that, and then, like, if he's a technical guy, I'll work on my technical game. Like, and I only go so hard in doing those 2 days because uh those next 2 days, that next day. So if I go on a Wednesday, or I don't
right.
really go on Wednesdays, but if I do go on a Wednesday, I'll go hard that Wednesday and that Thursday. But Thursdays, well, actually, Tuesdays, let me check that out. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I go harder. And then
Okay.
Mondays is the fill out process. Like,
Okay. Okay. And then the day before, do you do any kind of like go to the chiropractor? Do you do any type of uh uh is the strength and conditioning involved in type like weightlifting or any type of uh uh like calisthenics or aerobics or anything like that during the week?
yeah, I'll it depends on the opponent. Like, if he's cardio wise, like, I already so in ring I'll do cardio, but like, it depends on what we doing that day, because I have a nutritionist, and we were
Oh,
working in a group setting, so it would be like we do shoulders that day, or we do arms.
okay,
So she'll be like, "Hey, we doing arms today. Focus on your biceps and your triceps and stuff."
okay,
And
okay,
then some days, like maybe like a Thursday, she's like, "Oh, we doing chest, and we're working on your chest. The bench press over there, and the chest press is over there." And so that's how what we'll do and stuff. And then, like, yeah, and a lot of the times the people who have the ice. So we in this big facility where a lot of the football players, college players, is at this place called the Chip Smith Performance Center. So it's at a big performance center. So we'd be like, it'll have ice baths and stuff, but like the people will be gone. So then I'll have to, like, put myself either at I don't you normally do it at home, but it'll be
okay,
time to time where I'll go all the way down to the hall, and I'll go tell the lady I need ice baths, and she'll fix the ice bath and stuff, and I'll ready for the get ready for the next
get your body
day.
right,
Get
get
get my
everything
get my body right, get my stuff. But
right.
mainly I mainly do it at home now, because the lady goes at a certain time, so I'll usually have have my mom or somebody put like an ice bath,
Yep,
or
yep.
then, I'm always putting ice cream on my legs and stuff, or my arms or whatever hurting, and then
Okay,
I'll just heal up from that. Get some relief a little bit, you know, and then when I'm not so sore, I will stretch a little bit, but not too much, so I won't be
mm,
too sore, but like stretch a little bit.
okay,
And then we're mainly studying. I'll be mainly just watching all my opponent's matches, like up until I get to the building. So because I have somebody picking me up, I'll get to study even more, probably, like getting to see their promos and stuff
okay,
like that up into the building. And
okay,
then most of the time it'll be like their matches will be on the board, and like, oh, it's Nancy Lee versus this guy, and like, you know, if he wants to go over moves and stuff, and he wants to practice stuff, cool, then I'd be like, cool. But most of the time, uh, I like to just go in there and freestyle, and, like, do my own thing. Or not do my own thing, but like do the thing, like we'll have a couple stuff planned, but not so much where it's planned out.
do you have
So
a pre-match meal either the night before or the day of the actual event? Like that you
Uh,
like to eat that makes your body feel good?
yeah, I'll eat something before that night of, but I never eat during the day because then I'll it'll just be packed in the stomach and I'll just be feeling like I'm bloated, so I just don't want to feel
Okay.
like eating
What do
like
you
that.
normally
So
eat? What's your normal like the night before meal? Is it the same thing or you don't it doesn't matter to you?
nah, it really don't matter. I really do get chicken or turkey burgers or like something like that or some like Chipotle or something like that. Something in that realm.
Do you take like supplements or like vitamins or multivitamins or vitamin C, like stuff like that?
Yeah, I take some supplements. I take my iron, so I take my iron. I got it here right now. Uh, I take iron right here,
Okay, okay.
and then I got other supplements that I take that I like if I'm normally staying at my friend's house, I'll take
Okay.
those supplements and stuff. And I mainly just use some Allegra because my sinuses. You don't want to hit somebody in the nose and you're all bleeding and stuff because I've happened
Uh,
before. So yeah, I
do
do
you
that.
do you have like electrolytes and stuff like that you take before the match or after the match? And electrolytes are like, the sodium, the potassium, magnesium, calcium, all together that helps
Hmm.
your central nervous system, all your organs and your muscles not cramp up and stuff like that. Do you are you aware of those things and that taking them before the match to help you, or do you just try to get all of that through just the food that you eat?
I try to get to the food and like the
Okay.
drinks that I drink.
Okay.
So I'll try to like I'll drink Gatorade the most of the day.
Okay.
So but I'll eat before I go. I'll eat night before and then the
Okay.
morning before, especially if I know I'm traveling. So
Okay.
that too. Um, a lot of the wrestlers, I started doing this, but I don't do it as much. I'll drink. I'll drink like if okay, so like the big days, like spring break, that was like a real. That was like the whole day. Like I had to be. I want to say I could only get sleep for a little bit, but I already knew I was getting into. So I already knew that. All right, I'm off. All right, Friday I'm not wrestling. I'm just gonna be watching. But I gotta get some sleep in there. So I'll get like I don't need like a big power of sleep, not like 2 3 hours. Actually I only need 4 to 5 hours, 6 at the longest.
The
But
day
if I really
before,
need huh?
that's when you talking about that's the amount of sleep.
Either the day
Or
before or that day, like I'll get like especially if it's a big event, like if it's a big multi-day event,
okay.
I'll get a couple hours in and stuff, or like a good 30-minute power nap that I know I'm going to be moving and
Okay.
shaking and doing my thing. So
Do you ever do
uh,
protein shakes?
yeah, I do protein shakes. Like it's weird because I don't do them before, I do them afterwards.
No, that's good. That's okay. That's a good replenishing
Yeah.
source. Okay.
Yeah, because then I know I'm gonna be planets and stuff, so that's what I do. I do a lot of protein shakes, a lot of pre-workout that I use before the match.
Okay.
Most of the time, not all the time.
Do you
Usually just
take
use.
probiotics?
I have
Well,
before.
so the older you get, that's really important because to keep your gut health, like probiotics and prebiotics for your
Hmm.
gut health, very important, especially just the environment that we're in now, because it's said that up to 70% of your body's immune system, its ability to fight off whatever you're exposed to, it
Hmm.
starts in your gut. So to have a healthy gut is very important. And the probiotics are just the live organisms that are beneficial for your gut health, and then being able to feed them the right things so that they can become strong and then produce a strong gut environment is really key. So while you're doing like your research and stuff, that's something, electrolytes and the probiotics and the prebiotics and the foods that enhance those. I want you to do your research on that because it's going to give you more energy. It's going to help you to sleep better. It's going to help you to fight off when you're dealing with anybody or any type of environments where there's colds or even corona type stuff. And it'll just, as a professional wrestler, it's going to help you in the long run to have the sustained energy and the sustained vitality when you're out at your events and even the preparation for your events.
Okay.
That's going to be so after your match. So boom, you got the preparation. Or I'm not going to get after yet. Before your match, is there just the music that's out in the environment in the arena, and or in the ring is like the music that is the house is playing? Is that the music you listen to, or do you have like a playlist that you listen to before you get ready to go into the ring?
Yeah, I got a certain playlist that I listen to that I get ready to.
Okay.
You know, it's a lot of different bands that I listen to.
Okay.
It's a lot of metal, a lot of hip hop, a lot of hardcore hip hop.
Okay.
A lot of those, you know, a lot of old school classic rock that I'll
Okay.
listen to. That I'll get in the proper mindset to fight somebody that day and stuff. So yeah, that night or whatever. So
do you change the playlist or is it the same all the time?
I normally have I have different songs that I'll put on, or I'll add new songs. But I normally change it from time to time, but mostly it's the same, depending on what I'm feeling.
Okay, and then you take that before, and then you have your intro music when you're coming to the actual ring.
Mm-hmm.
You have the match. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
The match goes as you prepared for it. After the match is over, now what's your routine? Do you just immediately get a protein shake? Do you take supplements? Do you cool down? Do you get in the ice tub? Do you get a massage? Or do you go get some food? Like, what's your post-match routine?
Well, being that if we're on an independent wrestling card, they will normally will have they won't it won't be like AEW where I can go get a massage afterwards and like get an ice bath.
Okay.
That would be the case if I was, but so the main thing is like I'll most times I will have a protein shake, but it won't all be all the time that I won't have a protein shake on me. So we just go get food. Like me and all the wrestlers that we like hanging out with that will come with us. You know,
Okay.
all of my friends, like my friend Donnie, he'll come with me because I'll be riding with him anyway. So he'll with me, him, car like people like four to a car, probably five, be a packed car.
Okay.
Or sometimes we be in a van, so it's a lot of us. So, you know, a lot of us
Mhm.
get in the van and we go to like that's how it was in the collective for spring break. The collective was as normally like a big weekend. So it's like 3-day weekend. So we just go straight to the it's mainly like this. I tell people who's getting into wrestling, like I was like, you're gonna use a lot of leave. I told them you're gonna use a lot of leave. You're gonna have to use a muscle relax, oh not muscle relaxer, but a muscle gun where you can like massage the muscles with the muscle gun. I
Right.
guess
Right.
And I tell them that also you're gonna be going to the gas station a lot. You're gonna be going to the food places a lot. That's mainly where that's where you're mainly gonna be spending most of your time. Is like going to the gas station. If you don't have enough money for food, you go to the gas station.
Okay.
Or you just go to like like a McDonald's or like a Subway if they're open. Most times they're not open, so we get done late with the wrestling events. Like I don't know, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like that. It's like it was real late at night most of the time. So yeah.
Okay. And then that stops that. And then when the next, say, if the next event is how are events spaced out? Are they like once a month, once every 2 weeks, once a week, or once every 4 months, 6 months? How does that work?
Okay, so it depends on the wrestler though. It depends on the wrestler. If you're a very hot commodity in the world of wrestling and you getting bookings, like you're probably like they have the most of them. I've been busy. I've been busy from like week to week basis. Like they'll
Oh,
tell me like say if I'm going to an event, they'll tell me like on a Monday or Tuesday or that week upcoming. They're like, hey, are you available for this date? And you tell them, yeah, I got a booking, and then sometimes you just say that just because you want two bookings. So a lot of wrestlers want much bookings as they can, which
okay.
is called a double shot. You go to one wrestling event, and then you wrestle there, then you go to the other wrestling event, and most time you stay in your gear and you go to the other wrestling event.
Oh, on the same day?
Yeah, on the same day.
What?
Yeah, sometimes on the same day, and in some cases you'll do a double shot in the same day, and then in that same week. So like in that same day, so like say uh on a Saturday or a Friday, you'll do. I'm gonna use a shout out to this promotion. You'll do New South on that Friday.
Okay.
Then you go your either fly or drive, whatever.
Uh,
You go to Atlanta and you go to a promotion. You go to like, oh, let me bring back this promotion, even though it's not a thing no more, but I'm bringing back. But you go, for example, you go to from New South, you go to one fall, you'll be done with that. The day will be over, and then the next day, let's say a Saturday, you have to go to that next week. You got the GCW, you got Game Changer Wrestling. You go up to you getting so next week you're packing your bags again. You're getting after you getting your packing your bags, you go into the airport. You go in the airport, you know you give the ticket to the lady, you get in the plane, you fly. Most of the time it will be on the daytime, but sometimes you'll catch a red eye to Philly or Chicago, wherever the place will be, and then you will unpack your stuff. You will you will usually, if you're smart about this is how I do it. I get my sleep on the plane, so I'll be knocked out on the plane. So by the time, like if it's a red eye and I gotta go straight to the venue, I'll go meet up with my peoples. Especially if I don't have a license, so I'll go meet up with my friends. So I'll get in the car with them. I'll
mhm.
drive to the venue, and as I drive to the venue, we'll go get ready. We'll be doing we'll all entertain and fight people as my friend Mance Warner does. He reminds me of if Stone Cold and Terry Funk had a baby, it'd be Mance Warner because all he does is drink beer and fight people. And that, like, people think that's his oh, that's just his character. No, that's him. I remember he was like, I'm about to go home to my lady. I'm about to go drink some beer and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's when he was like, yeah, it's my birthday and I'm just gonna try to go to my lady. So that just remind me of a Stone Cold, uh, kind of Terry Funk kind of person. Like he's like, I'm here to fight people and drink beer.
That's what's up. Do
Yeah.
you so there are events where you have to wrestle on the morning and then say in the night is on the same day. There's actually events like that.
Yeah.
That is wild, man. How do you so if you wrestle say earlier in the day and then you gotta do it another time, do you after that first match, you get a quick snack or something, and maybe
Yeah.
catch a power nap, and then go to the next one?
Yep, that's what I do.
Man, that's what's up. Okay, so is there a plan? Like, do you make your bookings, or do promotions have a group of wrestlers and then they connect with other promotions and then they put the booking of the matches together? Like, who does all that?
So that's normally when stuff comes, like when promotions and wrestlers come together. It's normally for a big event. Like it's normally like a super event. So in the case of today, because it's on YouTube and it's this week's promotion coming up, Game Change Wrestling is doing a uh historic stuff for independent wrestlers like myself, which is doing it, and they normally get different promotions to come together under their banner, or like different promotions will come together with other promotions and other wrestlers, and all the wrestlers will come together, and they will be like, "Hey, we're booking this card. This is what's going to happen on these hours." So they come together, and which is a revolutionary concept. A lot of people are going to start doing it now after this event happens, which is a 24-hour wrestling event that's happening this weekend. And
What
it's
coming up?
yeah, coming up. My friends are gonna be there. I'm talking to the promotion right now to get me a spot, so it
Okay,
might
so
come up.
they're literally going to be wrestling 24 hours straight. Like, there's going to
Yeah,
be a match every hour on hour, that kind of thing.
yep.
Whoa, where's the event? Like, where are they having it?
Well, I don't think they can say the event, but I think it's gonna be in the Northeast area. But
Oh,
it's gonna be on YouTube, and it's gonna be on the YouTube channel of Game Changer Wrestling, and uh it's gonna be a 24-hour event. Like every match, some matches will going down in the morning from like 11 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, and then there's 2 in the afternoon to 5 p.m. Oh no, 2 in the afternoon to 4 p.m. And there's matches at midnight. There's matches at 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. and it goes to like that. So I know a couple of my friends are gonna be on those events, and I'm talking to the
so
promoters right now to get me on an event.
well, if you get a spot, make sure you send me the info so I can check that mug out. I'll be right on my phone with the YouTube deal, so that'll be on point.
Yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube. It's gonna be free. No have to pay nothing. So yeah, Resolution Conference there for GCW. I'm proud of all my friends that are doing that. Like GCW is a good promotion. They're always willing to help fans out and like help the people out. And it's one of the top independent promotions. Like I said, it's like the modern day ECW. It's gonna have because GCW has a lot of, it's like a flavor of ice cream. It's just like it's lots of different wrestlings. You got your
Mhm.
technical wrestling. You got your hardcore deathmatch wrestling. You got your comedy wrestling. You got your
No,
what else? You got your brawlers. You got your comedic style wrestling.
you got any
Like
high flyers?
you're gonna have the high flyers there. You're gonna have the big guys going at it. Like it's gonna be good. I'm trying to get in there and trying to do my thing. So
That's
um
what's up.
uh, talking to the people, the promotions right now. So I'm gonna send you a link if I'm on there. So
That's what's up.
so
That's what's up, man. I appreciate that, brother. Do you have any, like, is it week to week? Is it month to month? Do you have a year of, you see things that are scheduled and you like, okay, I want to be a part of this promotion. I want to be a part of this promotion. I want to get on this ticket. I want to get on this. Like, how is that scheduling aspect of it?
well, I usually schedule my own stuff. So I
Okay.
usually will hit up the promotion and be like, hey, what do you got coming up? And then they'll tell me, oh, I got this coming up on this month. Can you make it? I was like, oh yeah, I can make it. So it'll be like, so for example, they be like, hey, what do you got on Valentine's Day? And I'm like, oh well, I'm not really doing nothing but other selling with my girl, but then I'll be free. And then
Right.
they'd be like, all right, okay, so I'm gonna need you like to come in that afternoon or that evening and come in and wrestle for us and stuff. And they'd be like, and this is like 7 o'clock. It's gonna be, February the 14th and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, cool. And then the promotion will hit me up and they'd be like, hey, do you have anything for June the 15th? I'm like, yeah, I can do some June the 15th. You sure you're not busy? It's like, nah, I'm not busy. So it's usually they'll call you ahead. They'll call you ahead, like for ahead of time, like a month in advance. To be like, hey, do you have this? Can you do this June the 15th? Can you do this May the 15th? Like stuff like that. So
Okay. When you do your training and like the preparation in the modern day, like you were talking about, just all the different types of styles, do you guys implement any, say, grappling moves or any type of jujitsu into your wrestling, and or like karate moves, taekwondo, anything like that?
yeah, it's a lot of guys who come over from jujitsu and karate backgrounds and stuff.
Okay.
So it's a lot of different grappling techniques that we learn that some people that don't have grappling techniques and stuff
Uh-huh.
that will that will that will that they will like, well, we do this in our class. Can we use this in the wrestling ring and QT? We'll be like, all right, let's see it. And then if he likes it, he'll like, oh yeah, let's do it. And then we'll
Okay.
practice that move and stuff. So, but normally we do like a lot of grappling techniques in general. So a lot of transitions, a lot of grappling, submission holds, counters, uh, stuff like that. So we learn on and stuff. A lot of great wrestling, grappling, be on the map. This wrestling and stuff. So yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing a vlog where you just videotape your day or your training day or your day before the match, or what you eat before the match or what you eat after the match, or how do you get your bookings? Like, have you ever thought about putting something like that together and
Yeah,
putting
I
it on
have
your
thought about
social
that.
media?
I have thought about that. I just don't. I didn't know. I now know how to do it. I didn't know how to edit
Oh,
my vlogs, but now I
okay.
know how to edit it and stuff. And then I'm about to start putting out my stuff. So
Man,
I think this weekend or next weekend, I'm going to put it out more. I was supposed to do it in April, but I just got it in, forgot. And like not only I just forgot, like when I was doing it, I was like, I don't know how to edit it the right way to get music and stuff like that. So
okay.
that's what I was doing. So
Yeah, you definitely should do that, man, because I think it would be very beneficial for people to be able to see the behind the scenes workings. And then, man, you never know, you can inspire a whole nother generation to be able to get into the professional wrestling world and take their thing to greater heights and levels,
yeah, I agree. I think that would be good, and that would be cool if I inspired people. Getting messages talking about that I'm an inspiration is cool and everything. So in
Amen.
the chat we got Mike Roast. He says Rocket Argos represent. I think that says Argos.
Yo,
I can't
Toronto,
read it.
that's when I played after I came out of Notre Dame. I went to play football in Toronto with the Argonauts for 2 years
Oh, the Argonauts.
before I
Okay.
went to Los Angeles. That's what's up, Argos. What's up?
So yeah, got some people and from your old team. Yeah, I think that would be that. I think I should do. Now, once I got the editor now, so I think it's time for me to get my vlog right and stuff. So
Yeah,
you
man.
know.
I think you'll be amazing at that. It'll be fun too.
So yeah, I think
Do you
I'm
have
gonna do
merch
that.
and stuff? Do you
Yeah, I
sell
got
merch
merch.
or anything?
Yeah, I do. I sell merch. I got it's a merchandise place online called Pro Wrestling Tees. They have all
Okay.
the wrestlers on there. From Stone Cold to you name it, they got them on there. I'm on
The
there.
Nasty Leroy.
Yeah, to Nancy Leroy. So as you
Yes.
type in my name, Nancy Leroy, this shirt comes up too. You know.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Oh,
Okay. That's yes. What did I say on the bottom? Hold up.
I don't. Let me show you. Hold up.
What's underneath? Is that on the oh, that man. Okay. Gotcha. I like it. I like it. That's the classic right there.
Mm-hmm. Got that one. And then we got the tickets to that town. The Nasty Express. And then what else? We got the Nasty Team, my group. And then we got the Nasty Team mask that you use when you're going outside and stuff.
Oh
So we
yeah.
got the hoodies and everything. So yeah. Coming out with more stuff. Coming out something for the ladies.
You should get
And
did you have your cameo set up yet?
no, not
We
yet.
gotta we gotta get you on cameo, man, so you can start giving people shout outs and stuff.
Yeah, you gotta help me with that and stuff. You know, me and my
Okay.
me and my.
Let's try to set something up for tomorrow.
All right. I'm down for that.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, man. You can start giving inspirational messages, happy birthday, shout outs to people, man. That would be great. They would love it.
Yeah, yeah. You was the first person to tell you should try Cameo. I was like, I don't know how to work Cameo, but I was like, yeah, they used to help me out. So you know,
Yeah,
so we
man. It's
set that up.
easy. You'll love it. It's right up your alley. You can and what's cool is you already have your catchphrases, so you can just read the message that the people leave. They'll say, "Hey, Nasty Leroy, can you wish my son happy birthday or something like that?" And then you'll be able to leave the message, leave your catchphrase or whatever. Short and sweet. You can make it as long as you want or as short as you want. And if the people have a name or something that might be typical, not typical, and it might be a little challenging to pronounce, they can spell it out phonetically. So you'll know how to pronounce it correctly when you're on the video giving out the shout out. And man, you'll do really well on that, man. And it'll be fun.
It sounds fun. It sounds fun, and I'm looking forward to doing it.
So definitely we're gonna plan to get that on point, get you signed up on there tomorrow, okay?
All right. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to come back here because I think I froze for a little bit.
I don't see you on the screen. I just see like a avatar, kind of a blank deal.
But I'm gonna come back here, and we're going to come in with the last moments. I don't want to end on
Okay.
a bad note of being froze. So yeah, we'll be right back.
Are you? Oh, there you go.
All right, I'm back. All right, so
Thanks for having
I'm
me,
back.
man.
No, I had to get you on, you know.
Yeah, I learned a lot too, bro. I love it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get you on more stuff, you know.
Yeah, man.
I'm starting to my friends are starting to help me out with more stuff. Like
Okay.
I know a lot of my wrestling friends are like going on Twitch and stuff. So my friend Effie is helping me with that and stuff. So yeah.
Well, that'll be good because my son, your cousin, he does, he does that online video gaming computer stuff. So he'll, if you have a different platform like Twitch or something, he'll be able to help me to figure out how to get on and all that stuff. So yeah, that'll be no problem.
Yeah, and I think when people watch this, they'll be like, "Man, I didn't know Rocket was a wrestling fan, and I didn't know he
Yeah,
had a cousin, and it's
yeah,
very info and stuff, All
yes.
right, so I talked about this before on Tuesday night. Me and Rocket have this thing where every time on Thanksgiving, I play him in Madden, and he uses the Cowboys, and I say, "Don't use them Cowboys," because I was like, I'm gonna beat him. And he got 1 year. He got 1 year that he almost got me. He almost got me.
Hey man, it's because you're so much younger than I am, man. My skills are not as sharp as they used to be, so it's like automatically a given that you're probably going to come out on ahead in the Madden streets.
Yeah, I've been, in the tournament, so that's what happens. You people will know that I'm a I've been in the tournament tournament semifinals and finals.
Yes, yeah.
So that's what a lot of the people. So I'm gonna use this. And I will put this. This is only on YouTube, but I'm also gonna do stuff for like I'll put it on Instagram and stuff like part of like the clips and stuff.
You know
so
what? Maybe we should put some of the games on one of those platforms. I don't know what you guys use nowadays, but put them on a platform, and maybe it would be fun just to see what it's like. You never know.
Yeah, maybe use Twitch or something like that.
Play online.
Yeah. I think that would be good. I think people will be entertained, and I think a lot of times, like get the people of Instagram Live. I know they wanted to see you on there, especially Joey and his fans, because he didn't know.
Okay.
He's like, oh, your cousin. I said it so casually because you're my cousin. So you just rock it to me, who happens to play for the Cowboys, even if you play for a rival team. Even if you play for a rival team, you my cousins, you're like, oh, you're like, Rocket ain't your cousin. I'm like, yeah, it is. I got pictures. I had to show people on the pictures. Like,
yes.
Like, what was that? The picture of me doing this when I was like, we was at Aunt Sherry's house and I was just doing this.
Man.
And I was like, I told you, it was like, Rocket, I'm going to come with my own stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this is East Coast Entertainment.
Yeah, that's what's up. And I remember on one of the interviews that we did, you wore a cape to the interview. And the cape was, I forget who the hero was, but it was like your own wardrobe. You're like, yo, hey, I don't care if people don't wear. I'm out here on my superhero interview type stuff. So yeah, bruh, love the memories, love the energy that you bring to the table. And like I said, the fact that as a young child, this was something that I remember you saying that you wanted to do. And man, now you're finally here. It's a blessing, and don't ever take it for granted. And the ability that you have to bless people and to make people feel inspired and encouraged is something that is definitely needed right now in the world that we live in. And stay the course, stay focused, and I look forward to being able to have many more interactions, many more online gaming situations which you set up, get your Cameo set up, and family for life, man. Love you, brother. Thank you so much for everything. I appreciate you having me on your show.
I appreciate you coming on the show. We will do this for Instagram so people of Instagram can see and like there's good conversation going on. I know Joe's probably gonna trip out, when he sees this, and a lot of people gonna be like, "Oh, this is his actual cousin. He knows Rocket." Like, yeah, this is my cousin.
That's
like, yeah.
Up.
So I appreciate you coming on Nasty After Dark. Normally, I would have turned this into Chilling with Nancy, but we discontinued that show. Nancy After Dark was more popular, so
That's what's up.
so
That's what's up.
so yeah. Don't forget to watch this interview. You can follow anybody you want people to follow you, Rocket, or
Oh yeah, you got what we got? I am Rocket Ismail. That's Twitter and Instagram. I haven't been on Instagram for about a year, but I'm gonna start getting back on there. And then the Twitter, occasionally I go there from time to time. But Cameo, the cameo.com, I'm under Rocket Ismail. And yeah, man, that's pretty much me. And if you want to follow, cool. If not, man, none but love.
so you can follow Rocket and stuff, and you can tell them how they now they're gonna be asking once he watches back. They're like, "Oh, Nancy, we got interviews with Rocket even back then." She's like, "Yeah, I do, but I don't know where it is."
We gotta find those tapes.
Yeah, put them on the internet and stuff. We be like, "Oh, he been doing that stuff." I gotta see the stuff with the cape. I gotta see with the stuff the cape.
Yo, bro, you are it's a classic.
Yeah. and what else? Oh yeah, all kinds of interviews. But yeah, so you can follow him on all his social media platforms. Follow me on Instagram at official Nancy Leroy and that Nancy Leroy on Twitter. You can follow you can go get a Copper Protein t-shirt, the Nancy Leroy shirt. You can go to Nancy Express t-shirt, tickets to that town on Pro Wrestling Tees. ProWrestlingTees.com/ the keyword is Nancy Leroy. So all you gotta do is put in Nancy Leroy. Also, what else I got? I think that's pretty much it. On Instagram and Twitter. Nancy After Dark is going to be more of a regular thing. My next guest, I'm looking to have the Jabbertier podcast people. They're real cool. They're all black wrestling podcasts.
Right.
We're gonna be talking about in the month of February. I think we're gonna be talking about like the what I call it Black Wrestling Excellence, where a lot of black wrestlers are coming out and showing their pride of not only being black wrestlers but showing inspiration a lot of the kids and stuff, because I get that too. A lot of the kids that are now they was like, oh, you're inspiration for me to be in wrestling and stuff. I didn't know there was a guy like you that was out here, and I get so humbled, and when people tell me I'm an inspiration and stuff.
Yes.
Tell me, oh, I went to wrestling school just because because I'm trying to be in the ring with Nancy Leroy or tag with Nancy Leroy. So that is I know a lot of my other friends get that too. So we'll talk about a lot of the black wrestlers of today and yesterday, and then what we grew up watching and stuff. So that's coming there, and then all call coming guests. It's gonna be a whole bunch of different stuff on YouTube. This is now the platform for Nancy After Dark, and Rocket will come on here from time to time, and you see my matches and stuff and like all that kind of stuff. So yeah. So
that'll be good, man.
So for that being said, you know the saying, stay Nancy, my friends, and stay looking clean. Why the haters look at me.
I love it.